Hello, fifth grade. We today kind of our little artsy party because I don't want to keep stopping this project, but this is going to be your artsy party in the fact that you're going to get to paint today. You're going to practice paint. There's a couple things that I want to talk to you about. I've talked to you about how difficult this project is. The cool thing is I went to visit a school this weekend, and they had ceiling tiles painted. And the ceiling tiles that were painted by seniors. I told you that this is a difficult project and you're in fifth grade, but your sketches and your drawings are looking amazing. So the next step that you need to do is to practice painting. And I have paintbrushes that I bought new this year, and you're going to be the first ones to get to use them. You're going to get, when you get your supplies, and we might practice with them today, you're going to have a bowl of water, and you're going to have a little tray with your paint, and I have several different paintbrushes from you to get to choose from. So you're going to have your tray set up, and I'll probably have you just either share with a person or have your own. And this is for you to be able to practice, like I said. I want to show you the different brushes. This one is an angle, and it's great if you turn it on its side like this where the point side is up, and you can make a straight line. Now I drew IU. You know that I love IU. Because we're doing the Indiana Bicentennial for the 200 years of Indiana being a state. So you could actually take something from your tile, draw anything you want. This is just a practice painting today. And so these are little paint trays, and I also got something else for this project. We have these awesome containers that look like this, and this is for your class set. Now this is Denniston, trying to tilt it so you can see. And they will be I'll show you in the room in just a second where they're going to be. They're going to be setting on a shelf, and you're going to have to be careful when we put them back because you're going to place your paints in here. The purpose of these is we are going to be using acrylics, and acrylics are expensive paint. This way, hopefully we can be able to save it. And you're going to have a sheet, and on this sheet you can take a pencil and you can dip it in a little bit of color that you choose. And see how I wrote bright red? That way when I come back and if I need more paint, it says on there bright red. It's important to match your color. I have the color table is red. This is George. We're reusing these from last year. So instead of book, you're going to put your topic. So I put Indiana University. And you might have, you know how we're going to practice with a poster where you're coloring it with colored pencil. You might have 4 or 5 different colors here. You don't necessarily need, you only have 6 holes. You don't need 10 paints put out right away. You're going to just paint a little bit at a time. So we're going to start with the red because I want you to see so this is where your trays will go. And today we're actually using tempera paint because it's a lot cheaper. But on the tiles we will be using the acrylic because that's the only thing that will stick to the vinyl. So this is tempera paint, but what I want you to see is that you don't need that much paint. So you're going to get to practice, or I will put them in there. So you just have a little bit of paint. And this is kind of splattered a little bit. That's why you have to be careful. So you will want to shut this not near your tile so it won't splatter. And like I said, this is just a practice today. You can draw anything you want. I want you to get to practice using these brushes. Because some of you have never painted with special brushes before. It's just like anything else. It's a tool. If you have the right tool, it makes your job easier. So with this angle brush, when you get your paint on there, you don't want to dip the whole paintbrush in. Just see how I have the edge of the paint dipped in there? This is the barrel. You don't want to get that paint on it. And that's called the barrel of the paintbrush. And I'm just holding it like a wand. And you want to go up with this. Now I use my pinky as a guide. That way it helps you have a steady hand. Now I want you to see how I can get right up to that line. And try your best. And then you can spread that out. You can turn the brush on its side. So today you're just practicing using this brush. So maybe you come in on the edge here, go straight across. Again, my pinky is on the edge of that. And you're going to take this home today. Whatever you get painted is what you'll get to take home today. And then you can fill it on its side. I just want you practicing using a paintbrush, cleaning the paintbrush, getting your supplies, because we do not want to waste paint. Now today you will probably just use, we'll just use the paper plate and throw this away when we're done. So I'm just going on the edge. Now that's when, like I said, this is practice, so I'm going to show you how to clean your paintbrush. So here's my bowl, and I'm going to stir it around. You want to be careful that you're not splattering. So I'm making sure that I'm getting this brush clean. And tempera, oh, the acrylic that we're going to use is nicer paint. The texture is different than this, and it also dries really quick. So I'm checking the edge, and it looks good. And then you'll get a pile of paper towels, and you'll test it. See how I've tested my brush, and it's clean. Then you reshape it very gently, set it back in your tray. Like I said, you're going to have that little TV tray. Then try another paintbrush, and I have different sizes of these in blue, different sizes of these in the black. You do not have to add paint to acrylic. It's just, and same thing with tempera. So now I've tried that brush. Maybe I come back in, and I have little fine brushes too. This is still flat, but it's really tiny. So maybe I want to try using, this is one with an angle. Anything with an angle is nice to make a straight edge. So I'm going to try the tiny angle. Once again, have my pinky down, and I'm not overdoing the paint. You want to have nice long strokes with your paintbrush. If you have extra paint on the edge, you can turn your paintbrush over. And with acrylics, and with any other paint, you do not want to just keep going over on the same edge over and over again, because what will happen, your paper, if you're using paper, it will destroy the paper and create a hole. If you're on the surface of the tiles that we're using, like I said, it's vinyl, all you'll be doing is just keep scrubbing it over and over. Something else, I don't think I brought it over here, we're going to use sponge brushes. Like if this whole background was black, to do it quicker, I would paint in the black with a sponge brush. And you're going to need to decide, you know, if you're doing a lighter color against a dark, you want to paint the lighter color first. Because then if you make a mistake, you can color over it with a darker color. So anything that you want to paint today, the purpose of this is to practice. So back to the, not necessarily painting and over in one section to get it darker, you might need to do a couple coats. The lighter colors, especially yellow, is one of the hardest to get to actually cover a surface. Then I have a basketball drawn here, so I could go back in and paint my basketball, but I'm just going to do this simple basic thing. So like I said, we are going to draw what you want. You're going to get to paint with tempera. I want you seeing how you need to be careful with your brushes. Only a little bit of paint, because we don't want to waste it. And you never want to fill it all the way full. And then at the end, when you are painting your ceiling tiles, this container, so there, let me, trying to get this all clean. Check on the edge, check your paintbrush on the edge. Clean it. See, I still have red on there. And then if you need to get up and get clean water, you can. But you need to be aware that the ceiling tiles are on the back counter. And so we do not want to splash water, ruin other people's artwork. So this is us testing today. Now see how this brush looks a little different? If I go back in and I reshape it, it looks great. Do not ever leave your paintbrushes in the water. It will ruin the barrel. These will fall off. It's bad for the paintbrush. I'd rather see you set them in the tray. And like I said, this is our practice. You're going to have your water in the circle. Do not fill it all the way full, only half. Set that in there. You're going to have, this is for when you do your real project, you'll have your paint tray in here, and your paintbrushes will set up in this section. And the biggest thing is making sure we clean these brushes. And hope you have fun today.